Hey you guys, what's going on? It's your favorite guy, Frie the Guy, and it is Monday. It is March 22nd, and it is a beautiful day out here in Delaware. And today I went on a ride. I got an external mic, however, it did not work that well when it came to the wind. So I'm going to do a voiceover for my videos, which stinks, but hey, it is what it is. We'll make it work eventually. We'll get in there, and we are going to figure out how we can make this video much more crisper and much more being able to hear, because as of right now I'm getting just too much wind noise. If you guys have any issues as far as or comments on how to solve that, please let me know in the comments down below. Please always, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how I can make my videos better and things that you want to hear. So today is something about motorcycle safety. Motorcycle safety to me is always paramount, but this particular one is about people that say motorcycles are scary. Motorcycling can be scary at times, depending on what you do. But just because what you do on that motorcycle can make it a lot less terrifying. What you can do is you can go out and practice. You can go out and go in the parking lots and train. You can take the MSF course, which is in some states like Pennsylvania free. In Delaware, it's $200 if you're a non-resident and $50 if you are a resident for the MSF course. My always recommendation is to always take that course and learn how to ride a motorcycle. I always get a lot of feedback when I go for rides, just like, oh, make sure you're safe. Oh, make sure you're this. Well, I'm always safe. If I wasn't safe, I wouldn't be back. But I do enjoy riding, and I do enjoy riding quite a bit. And yeah, like I said, sometimes you go out there and you get a close call. Like I remember one time I was going down Route 13, and I stopped on the side to the right, and it's a good thing I did, because as soon as I looked behind me, a car swerved and almost hit the car in front of me. Always position yourself for safety, but that's a story for another time. But this is just motorcycles and why they're scary. So when you get on a motorcycle, it's heavy. You feel the weight, you shift it around, and you're like, man, this is heavier than a bicycle. I was like, well, no crap, it's a motorcycle for a reason. But it's something that you shouldn't be afraid of. When I first looked at a motorcycle in the shop, I sat on it and I felt so uncomfortable. It was just such a weird feeling to have something that's not even really heavy underneath of you. I mean, there's bikes out there like the Goldwing that weigh 900 pounds. This bike only weighs 420 pounds. So in theory, it's a very light motorcycle. And my Yamaha only weighs 295 pounds. So that's even 100 pounds less than that. But when it's a lot different if you've never had that kind of experience before. So yes, it can be scary to be able to hold that kind of motorcycle up. But you know what? It gets better. And this is the picture where you see the dog. I'm very excited about the dog. The dog is awesome. The dog is very excited to see me. Look how happy he is. He's just a happy young boy. Look at him. He's just like, please come pet me. And I say, I wish I could pet you. And the light changes and I have to go. Anyway, back to the main point. I digress. Riding on the road is the first part of kind of getting a little antsy. You get a little antsy. You get a little amped up because you don't know what to expect. You go out there and there's cars zooming by you, and you're trying to shift, you're trying to brake, you're trying to use your right hand for the brake, and then you're trying to shift with this hand, and you don't know what you're doing, and then you try to shift with your foot, and you're like, oh, which foot do I use? And you're like, well, obviously left foot, stupid. But then you have the rear brake, and you're like, oh, you gotta drag the rear brake in first gear. Look, it all comes in time. When you first, as a kid, started riding a bicycle, you didn't just magically appear and be like, oh, wow, look at me. I'm Bucky Lassick, or I'm whatever, insert famous bicyclist here, and be like, oh, Lance Armstrong. And you became an instant hit on it. It took time. Same thing with motorcycles. Motorcycles is something that's just it's in you. It's something that's like born inside you. Like my father used to ride motorcycles a lot. And motorcycling is just very freeing. It's very relaxing. it's something for your being. It's for your mental health too, and it's something that can really, it's just kind of it's a kind of like a release, and all that stress that you have about riding kind of goes away. You still pay attention to the road, but you get into like almost like a trance where it's like you're hyper vigilant, but you're also self-aware of things that you would never normally think, especially when you're riding a motorcycle. And for me, riding is it's a great mental reliever. It's a great stress reliever. It's just relaxing. You get out there. It's a nice day today, which is 65 degrees today, which is fantastic. Tomorrow's going to be a really nice day. I'm going to go out to ride tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to make a video. I'm going to try to only make one video a week, but we'll get to that. If more people want more videos, I'll try my best I can, but I'm only one man, and I can only do so much with editing. And I'm new to all this, so this is kind of a little bit different to me. But no, it's motorcycling is just something that it's not natural. It's not natural. You're not just great at it, and you just get on it and go. Some people are better at it than others. Some people have a steeper learning curve than others. But at the same time, it's not something that's impossible to do. When I was younger, I was like, I'm never gonna ride a motorcycle. I see all these accidents. People say it's dangerous and blah blah blah. And Johnny got hurt on it, and Johnny was this and whatever, whoever, John Doe, and stupid. So you have to be able to take it within yourself. It's just like anything. If you're conscious about doing the right thing, if you're conscious about being a smart and safe rider, you won't have the issues. They say you're 28 times likely to be in a motorcycle accident than in a car. So, and in a car, if you get in an accident, you're like, oh, well, I'm airbags, I got all this metal, I got the engine, I got the crumple, the curtain things that go shoot out, and you're like, oh my God. But it's, you have that security. On a motorcycle, you don't have that security. You don't have that safety feature to where you can say, I'm going to be okay no matter what. Even a 20-mile-an-hour crash, you can still break a leg, break your hand, break your neck. You don't know what you can do. I mean, it can hurt. It can suck. But, I don't look at it like that. I don't look at motorcycling as something that's going to kill me. Yeah, it can. Also can a lot of things in life, but you don't look at it like, I'm not going to do that because, well, that could kill me. Well, yeah, I mean, it can really suck. But, I mean, if you die, you don't got to worry about it anymore. Kidding. Don't die on a motorcycle, please. Don't do stupid stuff on a motorcycle. So this is what I try to say and explain to people, and this is the story I use to explain to people that say motorcycling is scary. So I went to the DMV. I came back, and when I bought my Yamaha, I bought it, came back, and I rode it to the DMV over here in Delaware, and I talked to this guy, and he's a really cool dude, older guy. He was just like, you're riding, what kind of bike you have, this, the other thing. I was like, I got this and this, and he's like, yeah, I used to ride, and I used to do all this, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whatever. And I didn't really ask him, because, sometimes people don't want to talk about it. And he was just like, yeah, I almost got in a real bad accident, and I got scared. And I'm like, yeah, that is really scary. That's terrifying. And his wife told him that you either sell the bike or I'm gone. And I'm like, well, why don't you just take the bike and ride away? Anyway, but he you could tell that he genuinely missed riding. He genuinely missed being out there. His grandchildren, his children like to ride. But it's just one of those things where a bad incident can have long-lasting effects. But I just hope you guys take something from this and understand that motorcycle riding inherently is very dangerous. But don't be scared. If the more you practice, the more the time you take to learn your craft, just like anything, the more competent and the more confident you're going to be. And look, You're gonna stall. You're gonna drop the bike. You're gonna look like an idiot. You're gonna, you're not gonna be knee dragging around any corners going 100 mile an hour. I tell you that right now. And if you're gonna do that, don't do it on the street like a dumb, what. Do it on the track. But you're gonna make plenty of mistakes, and everyone makes mistakes. But don't let failure inhibit you from doing something that you want to try or want to do. Start out small. Don't be that guy who goes out and buys a $20,000 motorcycle, and it's like, oh no, woe me, now I don't want to ride motorcycles because they're scary, and I dropped my bike. I was like, well, no crap, dude, the bike only weighs like 400 some pounds. But 400 some pounds, when it gets to a certain point, you're not going to save it. And if you don't have the riding skills and the capabilities to control a bike that has almost 150, 160 horsepower, which might not sound a lot, but weight to weight ratio, that thing can smoke any supercar or any hypercar around. So, certain bikes are more twitchy than others. Certain bikes are more linear than others. Like the Honda that I have is very linear. The Yamaha I have is very twitchy. So there's differences. So you have to be mindful. You have to have experience. You start out on a smaller bike. People might bust your stones like, oh, that's a wimpy bike or it's a moped, whatever. Who cares? You're riding. And they probably have a big bike and they probably don't even know how to ride it. So they're just trying to cover up what they don't know how to do, which is how most people are. They ride and they if a rider comes up to you and says, oh, that's a stupid bike or that's whatever, they're down themselves, because all bikes have great capabilities and all bikes are awesome, no matter what they are. As long as you're on two wheels and you're having a good time, that's all that matters. But just be mindful. Be safe. Learn your craft. Practice, practice, practice. Wear the gear all the time. Be mindful where you're going. If you don't have any idea what you want to, if any idea where it is, put it on Google Maps and look at where the turns are, if there's sharp turns, if there's bad traffic or what have you. Normally I ride with it on, but I didn't this time. Normally I ride with music on, but like I said, I tried to make a video and the sound kind of destroyed it, so woe me. But like I said, hopefully you guys get something from this. Hopefully you guys can maybe partake in anything as far as take something from me and maybe want to learn how to ride. If you want to ride and you want to ride with me, I would love to ride with you. I would love to teach you what I know, which is very little because I'm a beginner myself, but I would love to learn with you and, even teach you something that I know. But that note, thanks for you guys' time. If you have anything, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, remarks, please, please, please help me get this channel going and started. Like, comment, subscribe. Any kind of recommendations you have, put them in the comments below. I appreciate you guys coming out. I hope you have a great, fantastic rest of your week, and I hope everything is great for you. It was great talking to you, and thanks for giving me part of your day. Take care.